Good evening, everybody. Welcome and apologies for being a solid 6 minutes late.
There we go.
Yeah,
That was me having humongous technical issues, the likes of which I haven't actually had yet, where my printer blocked my internet connection because it's a Wi-Fi printer, and like nothing I did. Like eventually I switched it off and that didn't resolve it. But hey, you know what they say in IT, switch everything off and switch it back on again, and maybe your problem will go away.
Tell the truth, you kicked it, didn't you?
Yeah, kind of hard. Very hard.
Yeah, no. And then now it's punishing you.
Lip it, indeed. But gentlemen, good to see you. Themba, I like your cap, brother.
Yeah, Themba.
Yeah, what's up, man? Why can't I hear you guys? And my volume is all the way up.
Well, we can hear you very loud and clear. You sound sharp, brother.
Take the thingies, the wool out of your ears.
What's that?
Take the wool out of your ears.
I'm not that old.
Ah, see, he can hear us. He's pretending this one. You've cut him out. Yeah.
Comrade, you're out of order.
Yeah, no, hey. Withdraw Delela.
So is this like Cole Niehaus now? He's also out of order.
No. This is Tandi Mudise.
Yeah, it's more of a Tandi Mudise thing.
Well, I tell you what. I'm just glad we're all kind of on the same stream at this point in time. Themba isn't in a security vehicle. Floyd, no stress, mate. Floyd couldn't join us this evening. He's on site. But lots of good stuff happened this week. Well, Themba, that Saturday outing of yours looked like a massive success. Like a lot of people pitched, got a lot of traction.
Yes, now you sound like Saturday.
There we go.
Yeah.
You guys really need to stop kicking your laptops. I mean, you guys chill.
No, I'm actually listening.
So tell us what happened Saturday. How did it kick off? So Tactical HQ in 4 ways. We did a bit of advertising ahead of time, and it looked like a lot of people pitched, a lot of women for the first time to handle guns.
Yeah, I mean, because of previous experience, I'm always wary of just doing this thing haphazardly.
Yeah,
and I think
needs a lot of planning.
The promo we did kind of mitigated a bit of the problem that could have happened and did not, thankfully. What happened was I said that it will be free for the first 10 ladies. Now I had 11 ladies show up, and it was, from all walks of life. I had like very young ladies. I think one was a teenager, and I had a gent who was nice enough to bring his wife and daughter, and everyone was just happy to shoot guns and to see the perspective. I mean, if you see the feedback we're getting on Twitter, how my ramblings were actually educational to people, because I can get very disorganized when I start talking. I get all these ideas and facts that I want to put out, and everything just comes out at once. Sometimes I don't even realize that one thing has come out, but it seems a lot of people left there with very great thinking and mentality. Even perceptions have changed with regards to guns.
Amen, brother. That's the spirit. Well done.
That's exactly what we need, Themba.
Well done.
Well
done, Themba. Really, seriously, proper.
I have to give thanks to. I mean, you guys know I'm not in any way affiliated to Saga. I don't have shares at Tactical HQ. I wish I did. But I mean, and I didn't have to bribe Tim.
No.
If you know Tim, you'll know Tim will give you a 50 BMG for baked goodies. So I didn't even have to get my mom to bake anything. So Tim just said, Yeah, Tim just said, dude, if you want to do this, I've got the space, come and do it. And I spoke to another friend of mine, Tim, and he said, well, I'm going to speak to some people. And some people reached out and said, look, we're an association. We like what you do. Can we pitch in somehow? We can't be there in person, but obviously you need to pay for the range and gun hire. Okay, cool. And then Tim said, well, if they're going to do that, I'm going to give you free range and you pay me for the rounds.
And the saga will continue.
And the saga did continue. It went down very well.
Yeah. I like the cat. Where's mine?
I'll have to bribe them for the next show to say, guys, there's another dude who might want to actually shoot his guns for the first time.
I know, hey? I never shoot my guns.
So on that, after what happened on Saturday, Themba, I mean, good turnout, lots of positive things forthcoming from that. Is this something you think that we've got the potential to turn it into an actual movement, where we can take this to other cities, to other venues in the same city, get more people involved? I think from everything you've said, this sounds like a workable model to expose people to guns. Saga seems to be on board. I mean, Tactical HQ is, we just need to find equally understanding venues in other places in the country.
Well, those venues have reached out, by the way. One of the reasons I'm late, I was speaking to one of the ladies saying that she's spoken to her employer and they want team building thing.
Nice,
so
nice.
talking about what you call a movement. The movement has started itself. Like they say, you just take care of the small bits and the big pieces will fall into place on their own.
That's it. That's all you got to do. That's heartening to hear. That is awesome, because I mean, we've been having these discussions, these shows, I think since this started as a reaction to the Published Firearms Control Amendment Bill. These discussions with you and myself, I mean, you I and Hofu talk all the time, but I think we kind of collectively came to an understanding that these are conversations that we really should be having online in the public space and get people to interact, because it changes a very damaging and harmful stereotype to firearm ownership in South Africa.
Sure.
And I think we're successfully, or we are kind of succeeding in showing the fact that this isn't the traditional political game. It's a very different animal. We're different people from different walks of life, but united in the same thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you had this event, and just by the way, again, well done, because I've seen you put in incredible amounts of work in arranging these things, Themba. And you managed to somehow get people to pitch. A couple of years ago, we had a short discussion on WhatsApp, and I asked you, what's the feeling of Black women in the townships or in the Black community regarding firearm ownership? And I think your response to me was, brother, there's a lot of stuff that's got to happen first before they'll embrace it. But it's now 2 years later since we had that conversation. Things have changed in a big way.
A lot of things have happened. If you look at, for instance, the most recent thing where we had the insurrection, and a lot of ladies kind of realized, geez, when push came to shove, we didn't have the police that we always said should be the only ones armed. We didn't have the military.
Again? What's that? The what? The what? The popos?
Some guys in blue. I mean, one of the things I never told you during that thing, one of the police stations in the township was stormed by a couple of community members, and they made a huge mess. And the cops ran away. Guess who had to come? Guess who? Okay, now you're getting something. The cockroaches arranging a pepper.
For you.
So guess who came in to save the police? Yours truly and a couple of friends. We went in there, had to kick ass, get people out of the police station. Yeah. So
Dude,
now people are starting to realize that.
Man. You should come stay in my neighborhood. We'll get you a house here. You know, I mean, it's just cool. You know.
No. We need Themba to carry on being the Batman of Soweto, with his AK and his plate carrier.
Themba here, you know.
No. You've got enough guns, Hofu. I'm sure you can do just fine.
Hey,
and he's a bigger than mine.
I don't want to shoot people. I just want to drink my whiskey and be happy.
Miles Davis ain't gonna save you in the middle of the insurrection. Although
I can always bore them to death with jazz. You know.
Well, no, I was about to say maybe you're one of those people that perform really well with the correct music score, sort of taking you through the tough times. So maybe Miles Davis is your apocalypse tune. I don't know. I mean, stranger things have happened. I've met stranger people.
People twerking to soundtrack while shooting bad people. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, but shit happens, you know.
It does.
I just want to shout out good evening to
Sibongiseni. Yeah, from the African gun enthusiasts. Shout out to my boy, Shaps Bosch.
I'm going to ask you a question about that in a second. Put a pin in that quickly for me so I don't forget. Good evening, Daniel. Good to see you. And good evening to Lauren from Virginia.
Lauren looks hot.
Yeah, we're going.
Hopefully thinks Virginia is in the Free State.
Yeah. Virginia is a free state, but this is not the Virginia that's near Welkom, Hofu. This is the other one. It's the one across the sea.
Because we ain't welcome there.
Well, to be honest, I ain't welcome there either. I don't drive the right car to fit in.
They got a lot of farmers down there. They're gonna shoot you. You know?
So before I make too many bad jokes, African gun enthusiasts. What's the backstory there? Like, who's who in the zoo? What's going on? Where did it come from?
Okay, Kabelo, myself, Khofu, couple of other guys said, "Listen, we've seen how." Your new, especially the new black gun owner, gets treated in some of these shops. Something I think we raise every time we have this conversation.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people say, I mean, when you post something and you're hunting on with the Gideons and the Jason calls and one guy inboxes you because he feels more comfortable. You look like him. You sound like him. You come from the township like him, and he feels that he can at least express himself well in his language and you'll understand.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from. And a lot of people got the wrong idea. I think it's because it coincided with me having a lot on my plate and having to excuse myself from GOSA, which I still support very much. And people kind of thought, oh, it's a new association. No, it's not a new association.
Yeah.
It's just a safe space
platform.
It's just an information platform where Hofu and a few other idiots we exchange blows on whose Taurus shoots better than the other.
Well, can I tell you what? I'm grateful that exists because I'm going to tell you both the story quickly, and this kind of ties into it. Because that is exactly, and yes, Jason, you do gaan on. In fact, you gaan on so much you don't have an end. Jason is like a Mobius strip.
You guys gave me the baptism of fire. I will never forget you. You, Jason, I can't remember who the third guy was. You guys gave me the baptism of fire because I came in there. I was fresh, wet behind the ears, excited to, be carrying guns, and I didn't know that I could actually have more than one. And you guys were not forgiving, But not everyone's got the heart.
You were lucky. You were lucky it happened on Facebook. I had to join on Gunsight, the forum. Before Gunsight was on, before Gunside was on Facebook.
Did they at least use lube?
No.
Dude, there was never lube there, you know.
They went in dry.
I remember I was reminded swiftly that I had to go and introduce myself before I posted anything. You know? And now guys are bitching about holsters.
So what happened?
Gideon, you were telling a story. I've also got a story, and I've got a feeling it's similar to yours. Yeah.
Yeah, I think let's exchange stories, and I'm grateful that AGE, whatever, however you want to pronounce the acronym, exists because breaking or not breaking the cultural barrier. I think having a place where that cultural barrier doesn't matter, and where good information and all the good stuff gets disseminated, and those discussions are having, that is going to do amazing work to get people involved. Because the one gun shop in town where the black guys used to go buy all their ammo, it was run by a black guy, and he recently passed away. So these guys can't get their ammo from him anymore. So they've started coming to us. And they're awesome people. I mean, they come in, they buy their ammo, they know exactly what they want. There are two things that stood out to both myself and Azzy. Is the fact that their first thing they kind of expect you to be racist towards them. And the moment you're polite and nice to them, it kind of blows them over a bit. Yeah. You can see that defensive barrier just dropping, and the guy goes, "Huh?" Which was
end up buying the whole shop.
Almost, but it was shocking to me to see that change in personality happen in real time in front of me, and I'll tell you why. The second one is that our prices are normal retail prices, that they express surprise at the fact that our prices are what they are. This tells two things to me. Firstly, wherever they went prior to coming to us, they had a bad experience, and they were expecting to have continuous bad experiences.
Count me in. Look, like I said, I've told you my story. Yeah. My first walk into a shop was a shit shop.
Yeah. And okay, Jason is being all what's the word? He's feeling sad about his past behavior. I think we all do, Jason. Feel sad about your past behavior.
Is that 999+91? Who's that?
That's Jason.
It's Jason Court.
And the second thing,
man, come on. What?
tells me his story. The other thing is that it also tells me they're getting ripped off where they were, because we're charging them normal retail. So there's definitely a potential issue, but bear in mind that some dealers, you get unscrupulous dealers. They're few and far between, and they usually don't last very long. But unfortunately, they do exist, and it's that case of a minority of establishments giving the industry a bad name.
Can I just chip in there quickly?
Yeah.
So it goes beyond the retail price issue, and beyond the whole profiling, racial profiling. It goes further than that. You've been profiled. Someone assumes you don't know anything about guns, and more often than not, you don't, because you're not exposed to them from an early age. This is something you start doing when you're now working, or you're in the security industry, working for some white old company that's had firearms for long, and they giving you their old Taurus revolvers, and that's all you know.
Model 85.
Yeah.
So even the advice that our people get, I can assure you now, every black guy, at least in KZN, who walks into a gun shop gets a Taurus, because he's told that they're not even telling him that it's like a copy of a Beretta, therefore Z88, blah blah blah. He's told this is the same. This is like the Z88. It's powerful.
It looks like a real gun.
And it's shiny. Do you understand? That's why I'm having issues. This is one of the things that one of the guys actually sent me an inbox and said, maybe we should have a show or a video where we explain why I'm always shitting on tourists because people have made the mistake of saying, yeah, just because you can afford a clock, we can only afford a Taurus. Then I pull out pictures from the same store that says the Taurus is actually 5,000 rands more expensive than the clock, and people don't know what to say anymore.
We actually, I think, have been addressing this, Themba, I think, in the past couple of days.
4 days.
On one of the groups, yeah. So I mean, Themba, just to sort of interject before I forget, I was in a gun shop yesterday. I'm not going to mention the name of the gun shop. And as I was busy doing my thing, but it was sort of out in the outskirts. It's not local. It's in another province where I used to live. So I was there and I was busy doing some business there and you know, doing some stuff. And two black guys came in. And as they were coming in, there was a chap who was busy on his laptop. He's one of the admin guys, and you know, and you know, the moment these guys walked in, you know, you could sort of pretty much see, number one, you're black. You always have to contend with the fact that you might just get your ass shot because you're a black person walking into a gun store. Even I have that. You know,
yeah, but
even
it's not because you're black; it's the way you look. I mean, you just look like a
I look like I could block the shit out of everyone right now. You know, even with my dirty glasses. You know,
I mean, yeah, that's the problem. You look like one of those '90s drug dealers in Miami. You know,
bang bang.
You just, the only thing that saves you a bit is that you don't have too much jewelry on you. So that's what creates, and that's what makes you more dangerous, because that creates that second of hesitancy where you're not profiled correctly. And before you wipe your eyes out, Hofa has this gun in your face. That's the problem. Ooh.
Give me the ammo, nigga. I'm here for the ammo. I don't want the Taurus. I want ammo. You know?
And the Glock. You want a Glock?
You know what I mean? So I'm in the shop, and then you know the two black guys walk in, and unfortunately I could already
what's
pick
up,
up.
Stripe?
Sorry.
No, I was greeting Stripe.
Oh yeah, shame, yeah. So these chaps obviously look a little bit out of place, you know, a bit sort of not knowing, you know, but you could see that, you know, with the right guidance, these are guys that we could sort of get them armed, legally armed, and you know what I mean, type of thing. And as they walk in, they open that burglar door, and then they come into the store. And I think the first thing the guy behind the laptop said was, "Hi, can I help you?" But you know, in that almost sort of raised voice, you know,
what the fuck do you want? What you doing here?
What I mean? And the guys were like, already that shuts the guys out. You know, you've created this element of fear in them that they automatically forget what they actually were going to ask you. So obviously the guy's like, nah, how can I help you? You know, and these guys are like, we just wanted to ask about guns, you know. So you can already hear the element of fear in the voice, right? And then he says, he proceeds to say, and this is what shocks me. He says, do you want to commit now? Do you want to look at guns? You know, like, as in, do you want to commit now? Do you have the money? And I'm like, whoa, dude, you know, that's not how you do it. And the guys are like, no, you know what I mean? We just want to get more information. And then he says, no, unfortunately, if you don't have the money to commit now, I can't help you because, you know, we've got secondhand stock that always revolves. And then he says, what's your budget? You know, so the way I'm talking is pretty much the way the guy was relating to these two chaps.
I can relate. I've been there.
And at some point I sort of tried to step in to speak in my sort of in my language. I speak Tswana, but then by that time I think it was just far too gone because the guy could not even tell that I'm actually trying to say something to save his ass, you know. And then he just said to them, and then he proceeded to say, "Do you have a competency?" You know, and I'm thinking, this is just really fucked up, you know. This is really fucked up, and this is what a lot of, unfortunately, black people experience when they come into the shops. You know what I mean? I have experienced the same thing, not necessarily in that tone of being spoken to like that. You know what I'm saying?
I have.
But also, it doesn't only happen in gun shops. Let's keep that in mind. It happens in many other sort of retail outlets. I've dabbled in the retail space, and the one thing that I've learned, because I used to do a lot of audiophile stuff, sound systems. You will have a guy that looks like he's about to jack you. He will come in and drop $500,000 on a turntable, and you will have your jaw on the floor and think, shit, I could have lost $500,000 on just one item.
Well, this is exactly what Jason said
just a bit earlier.
Yeah.
You know
that's
what I mean?
a lot.
And that's the problem that we're currently having with a lot of gun shops. And Gideon, I want to commend you and Aziza for actually being able to sort of treat the guys properly. You know what I'm saying? Because
But I mean,
Dude, this is
to be honest,
Gideon?
that is just our standard customer relations thing.
Yeah.
It's a case of that's
but
how
That's
you
the
I
thing
just
with
wanna treat
tactical
it
HQ. That's
But-
the
but
thing with
what I wanna-
tactical HQ.
Yeah.
And-
In actual fact, I've been to Tactical HQ. Actually, the first time I went to Tactical HQ, I went with my wife. And not once, there's a point after the third gun, you feel like, okay, fuck, now I'm pushing. Especially when you know that you're not going to be buying. You're like, oh shit, now I'm pushing it. But I mean,
Thanks,
I
Bruno.
had them bring out a Glock 42, a Glock 43,
Hey,
a
Grant.
43X, and a 17 and a 19X. I mean, this is, and the guy was, but mind
I
you,
don't think
rocked
you
up
own
there
enough
about
guns
quarter
yet
to
for
five.
food.
Sorry?
I don't think you need to. I don't think you own remotely enough guns. I think you need to up those numbers of yours.
Rookie
Hey?
numbers.
I can't carry rifles every day on me, but I can change my pistols like I change underwear. Just saying,
So Flying
Anyway.
Nando's. By the way, Flying Nando's story is true because I've seen the same thing. White guy in overalls and safety boots, dirty, wants to go drop like 750,000 Rand in cash on a new Bucky, and the salesman wouldn't speak to him. And it's like, but this is a problem. I mean, if we zoom in on it, I don't think I or Azzy does. I mean, I like us getting thanks for the way we treat clients.
Yeah.
But for Pete's sake, like guns are a intimidating thing for new people to get into.
But Gideon, what I actually wanted to say, I'm sorry to interject, right?
No, go.
Is and I just want to say to the gun shops and the gun shops owners that are listening, right? You guys are a bunch of hypocrites if y'all are treating your customers that way, right? Whether black or white, and it's not going to be a racial thing. This is black or white, because these are the same motherfuckers, and I'm going to use that word. These are the same motherfuckers that claim that they want the numbers to grow in terms of gun ownership in this country. But you go and treat customers like that. So fuck you. I'm going to put it out there because they are the problem. Now we essentially probably lost out on 2 additions to the gun fraternity because someone decided that they're just going to be an
asshole to them. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even besides that, how do you as a business owner justify treating a potential client? I love money. If anyone walks through my doors, I assume that, you know what, whether they're dressed in fucking underwear or they're dressed in Gucci, I'm going to treat them as if they're about to drop $1 million.
I agree with Ellen.
And I've had cases where guys come in and just inquire, and literally a few months later, they drop a whole ton of cash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you end up having, some of them even become friends, like literally lifelong friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally about the fact that we have these gun shop owners that are also contributing to the problem that we as the firearm community are trying to combat. I mean, you can imagine what those guys are probably sitting and thinking right now. You know what I mean?
I have to interrupt quickly and shout out to Arishna. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, Themba.
She's one of the ladies that have been reminding me of my ramblings. She came there with
Hadi. I saw Arishna on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
She's a journalist.
Yes. So she was with me. She literally became my second in command because every time I got carried away with my ramblings, she would collect all my speech because I'm not very organized, as I said.
But
Yeah, we
it's
know.
still good.
Bantu education hurt you, my brother.
Yeah,
Actually
very
hurt
bad.
you and I.
And people
You know.
people don't understand that. I know I look young sometimes, especially when I've shaved, but I'm a very old club hoyer. So yeah, it's just
Me, I'll be sitting there on some. My name is Khov. You know,
yeah.
like,
My name is Themba.
yeah, you know the apples. You know.
Yes.
Well, I saw your speech in that parking lot at Maponya Mall. That was fairly well organized. I'd say you know your way around public speaking.
Was that written for you, Themba? Did I write that for you?
Yeah, the secrets are coming out. But before we get too sidetracked, Cockroach, Jason would like to know, can we have the AGE contact info? Because there's some guys that would like to get in touch, obviously, and I think that's an awesome
We are
initiative.
the contact info.
Okay.
Yeah,
We are the
pretty
contact
much,
info. So get in touch with us on WhatsApp, on Twitter, on Facebook. I mean, it's there. African gun enthusiast.
Yeah, you just write. Yeah, African.
Yeah.
African gun
We're there.
enthusiast. Yeah.
Or just email me and I'll pass you on directly into the loving, waiting arms of Khofu and Themba.
Yeah, especially
we are worse than Gunside, by the way. Just saying.
Are you though? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Is that
Trust me.
Was it
Trust
the
me,
whole
it's not
Gunside
nice.
shut down?
Well,
I think
okay. I suppose you need to have a bit of a Afghanistan there or something. Okay. I think Richard emailed me. Hang on, Richard. I will check my emails.
You're being exposed.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here praising your ass about good service, and you ain't responding to emails. What's wrong with you, dog?
Have you seen what my inbox looks like? It's a mess. So here's the funny part.
Okay, we need good service.
This is true. I'm not even going to make my problems your problems. And the reason why Jason gets treated this way is because he walks into a dealership with a the stickers for Floyd's idea. Okay, I shall respond tomorrow morning, sir. So Jason walks in a kilt into the dealership with no underwear on. He wears his Glock that he Cerakoted purple. It's got a flappy paddle gearbox on the back. I don't know why. And he wears it in an Enigma holster. And I mean, could he be more hipster if he tried? That's the part that's insufferable. It's not the fact that you want things, Jason.
Yeah, it doesn't get anywhere.
With regards to Jason in the gun shop's defense, I wouldn't want to get my tires shot. I'm just saying.
This
is
is
kilt. Is it a kilt? The whole Scottish dress.
Yeah.
You know?
But he's a tactical
man. You know, you gonna mess up the floor. You know.
Gideon, I think I'd like for us to have a bit of a chat with Arishna, if possible.
Yeah.
Just to get her, for lack of a better word, I'm as you can see, I'm not wearing glasses. I'm not the same nerd as Khofu. So, for lack of a better word, to get the end user experience, because I'm still getting a lot of ladies that have been referred by the 12 ladies that we had on the range and the 11 guys that we had on the range on that day.
So here's my suggestion. Would Arishna be willing to join us next week, Wednesday? Because Thursday I'm flying up to Joburg for the training course that Arno and I are doing then next. I'll tell everyone about that in a bit. So next week, Thursday, we might have to make Thursday night with Khofu, Themba and Floyd into Wednesday night with Khofu, Themba and Floyd. And then Arishna would be an awesome addition if she is available. Otherwise, we'll definitely arrange a chat with her.
It'll be good to have beautiful faces on the platform. I'm just saying. Y'all niggas is ugly. You know.
Are you fishing for compliments here, Khofu?
This guy.
Just checking.
I'm just saying, I ain't beautiful. I ain't handsome. You're definitely also ain't handsome. It'll be good to have Arishna as.
Yeah, no. I need to warn you guys. Arishma can talk more than I can talk. Actually, more than all of us can talk combined.
Okay, that means
see,
it's an easy stream.
We
You
want
can just
on
shut
the
up.
show. Yeah, she must come on the show.
Easy
Alan,
stream. I like that.
Alan is being a smarty.
So
Get away,
yeah,
Alan.
Ellen, we're not going to Kabul. Stop it.
We're not sharing. We're not sharing.
I'm flying out tomorrow.
Bring us back an MRAP or 3. Those things are pretty cool. The gas mileage is shocking, from what I believe.
What
Dude, I'm an ancient guy. Give me a PKM. I'm happy. You know, when I got into this game, I wanted an AK. You know, I wanted to hold a legal AK for the first time. Now I want to hold a legal PKM. Like, there's certain stuff about my past experiences and past life that I want to erase and just jump over to the legal side of things. So please, give me one.
Yeah, I think you know what I want to.
PMing.
So Shraib says wifey wants it on the next one. You know what? I think we need to start having a regular stream with armed women.
Yeah,
definitely.
Specifically on this topic. Shraib, that's actually a bloody good idea. So we shall arrange that. But I would like us to see my vision for federalized South Africa. If Gauteng is going to become like its own state or its own country, and the Western Cape does this thing, we need a Nevada of South Africa, one where you can go shoot full auto stuff, own full auto stuff. You can walk around in a Borat mankini down this Palm Strip area of casinos if you wanted. I think this, but with a bit of South African flair to it, you know.
Speaking of that, I've got an old mine dump behind my house in Soweto, right? The old
yellow sand place.
Yes, the old. I think they were called Ren Gold or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they're called.
You know, we could open a range there and call it Zama Zama shooting range.
But that's exactly what I want to do. Grow up. I want a semi. What's that you want, sir?
And hookers are legal, asks Jason. Obviously,
338 La Poor Magnum.
Why not?
Richard is the whole vibe, eh?
Richard, remove the ad. Richard has got rich fantasies.
Yeah, no. Maybe he's like one of those low-key Jeff Bezos type of guys, you know.
But yeah, I tell
You'll
you
never
what,
know.
But I really like the idea of the Zama like full auto shooting range. I think that's a superb idea. Not even as a joke, as dead serious. Because I mean, come on. Las Vegas has Battlefield Vegas. We don't really have the same vibe here. The best we can come is like do something with the Zamas because they're the guys that are rocking the most full auto hardware probably in this country. Not the military, not the police, nobody else. Those are the guys. And
those guys don't give a shit. Trust me, I've been in operations with those guys don't give a shit.
And let's be honest, we will truly be Zamaring. You know, I mean, we're fighting the government. I mean, that's Zamaring. You know? So the name is quite apt, you know.
But you know what? Remove this a couple of 100 years, and it'll be like pirate stories where the Zamas are romanticized into, you know, you'll have
the Philistines.
Yeah, exactly. So all that it takes for highway robbers, pirates, and criminals to become romantic is just a couple of 100 years of separation and some good stories to be written about it.
Technically, the Zamas are Robin Hood. They're just not giving to the community. They're giving to themselves. And
I was about to say. Yeah. So they're half Robin Hood. They rob from everybody else and they give to the themselves.
Poor. I think Jay-Z also said it in one of his songs that, you know, if I take from the rich and give to myself and I'm poor, you know what I mean? That makes me a Robin Hood.
It's a social service, right? Very limited in its scope.
I feel like robbing a gun store right now because I'm poor.
Yeah, it's not Robin Hood. It's robbing those who rob the hood.
Yeah, robbing the hood. By the way, the hood is the gun shop. I'm in the hood right now.
So Khofu says about like getting bad vibes in gun shops, and he just casually talks about robbing them on a live stream. I mean, maybe that's the problem.
I mean, I ain't saying the gun shop shouldn't let me in next time, but I could do the 43X right now,
Guys, I want to visit CHS because there's something that Tim at Tactical HQ, without sounding like we're advertising, that he has gotten very right with his stuff. You walk in there, and the guys, like it's a bunch of young men there, right? I think I can't even count, 7, and there's sometimes new faces, right? So there's these guys on the corner behind Tim's little kiosk that make this great coffee. And usually guys that make coffee are angry in the face. But those guys are just smiling and always sharing a joke. And
would you be happy
kids
if
behind
you were called a barrister?
and the kids behind
the barrister.
And the boys behind the counter with all the guns and stuff, they're just smiling, and they have I've picked up that they've got a name for everyone. Like, hi champ, have you been assisted? Are you good? They'll even walk from outside, from behind the thing and come in front of you and greet you. There's always that thing like, you're welcome. We want you to be in here. Your spend here helps us reach our target, and Tim will keep us. He, at least if the boss is smiling, then he'll get us pizza. There's always that thing. Like you look at their face, it looks like they're constantly incentivized for doing the right thing, and that's what he's gotten right. We've got on AGE, on the WhatsApp group, on the smaller group, there's a big and for lack of a better word again, famous gun shop that every guy in the group has said, I will never go back there. One of the guys had been there for the first time because we had sent him one of the specials. He hated us after that visit.
The name sound rhymes with going out and being in a Land Rover, a green Land Rover, and doing a tour of the bushes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that.
We can leave it at that. Yeah, that's.
You guys want to know where the whole famous coffee thing actually sort of started? And I could be wrong. It might not have started here. Could have started.
Is this the nerd speaking now?
Yeah, this is
no.
Definitely.
Okay, net out.
So back in the day, Tac Shack used to have this coffee machine. I don't know if you remember it, Gideon.
I vaguely do.
The Nespresso one, just as you're sort of walking out to the safe. And I'm not a big coffee drinker, right? But yes, I don't know what coffee does to gun people, right? Like it just like guys will come in for the coffee. Like coffee just does something to the gun oaks. I don't know what it is, but it's just one of those things, I mean, there used to be jokes flying around like, you go and buy coffee and you get an expensive rifle.
Listen, it's all about plausible deniability. I left home to go get a cup of coffee, and I just happened to came back with a Snaps 271 for a 3-thread Lapua Magnum and semi-auto.
Ah, man, I hate when my car falls into the machine. It's the weirdest thing.
No, but you know what happened is they rang it up, and my wallet isn't RFID blocked, and I accidentally tapped the transaction through, and it was.
Yeah,
it happens,
I walked into I'm a black guy. My excuse is much better. I walked into a gun shop because I was curious, and I didn't read the big sign that says if you touch it, you buy it.
Yeah. And you probably dropped it too, right? That's why you had to buy it. You drop, you buy.
Exactly.
Hey, I don't
discuss
guns. I don't discuss my purchases with my wife. Just say.
We've just been put on the spot
it's off limits.
There's a question for you guys.
Yeah, I never get her handle right. 2010 GWF. I believe you're from the States, and you've just put me on the spot with a gun I have to Google. It's the Omen
What's
Watchman.
that?
It looks gorgeous.
Win mag. It sounds like a
Yeah.
fishing gun.
It's not a fishing gun. This is so it's not an AR. I suppose you can call it an AR type, but definitely not 15. It looks like a monster.
Is it? Yeah, it's one of those guys. It's one of those guns that I look at and I'm like, nah, I'm not whitey.
I'm googling it right now. I just pulled images.
I'm going to take that Themba. I'm going to get a screenshot of that gun. And I'm going to say, this is like one of those guns that I look at and I say, I'm not wide enough.
Nah.
Themba Kubeka,
Nah.
2021.
No. There's really those guns that I see a lot of, like, you know, the so-called sniper rifles. When I was growing up, because I'd only seen them in movies with the white guys, because they were the snipers. You never saw
black people
a black
don't
sniper
fear snipers. It's like a white sniper.
You get what I'm saying? So there's guns that I look at today. I'm like, nah, man, I gotta be John Rambo or something. Nah, I'm not white enough. You know, I might have a bit of Irish in me, but it's not that deep.
Well,
my daughter
there
wants
you
to
go.
say hi. Say hello.
Hello.
So Jason has just given us his opinion on the Nemo Omen. So he's willing to mortgage his house for one. The problem is Jason is a man who wears a kilt, and he's one of the whitest people I know. So that kind of fits.
I don't think he needs to mortgage anything except what's under his kilt. Just saying, just giving him ideas.
Yeah, I just want to know, does he wax or manscape? Actually, that's not what we need to talk about on this.
Real men don't wax. Real men
I thought this was a family show.
It's a family show. Well, to be honest, it's something interesting enough for me that I would love to try it and see what I think of it. The problem with living in South Africa is to try and get a hold of one of these things, you need to be on extremely good terms with Demis Karamitsos or someone like that, and maybe he'll let you come try his display model out or something. I don't know, but I'm too poor. Guys that wear a kilt.
I mean, in South Africa, we're still waiting for the PDP.
Well, in South Africa, we're waiting for a lot of things that didn't quite get here. I believe. Is
the R4 here already? Is the LM4 here already? Coming.
I believe we're getting a South African manufactured AR. Not the DM4, a new one. I believe
Isn't it the one that's done by those guys that do the beautiful hunting rifles?
You mean those long range rifles?
No, man, not Truvelo, not the other one.
No, it's not the Musgrave one.
No, I was thinking Musgrave. Yeah.
No. This is actually, I believe it's going to be a Truvelo product. So if that's the case, that would be something worth looking at because they make proper barrels.
Yeah.
I visited Truvelo, and there were things sitting there that they were not getting export permits for, and I just wish that I was in the States and I could just walk away with at least 3 of them. And trust me, if that AR or whatever it is going to be called is coming out and it's coming from Truvelo, I'm mortgaging a leg and a lung.
In actual fact, I saw a video online of some of the parts being manufactured of the Truvelo stuff, and it does look very, very good. Man. I just wish they could get their website to work though. They make some good shit there. I mean, I don't want to look at traffic lights technology. I want to look at Truvelo rifles. Just saying. Anyone from Truvelo is listening. you know.
Well, here's one. Trevally should maybe just if we can get our viewership up to like 10,000 people watching, and we're far off from that every week. Maybe we can start like begging Trevally for like a donor rifle that we can mess around with. Or something.
When we're
Rotate among
influencers.
ourselves.
Yeah, but see, we're 3 influencers instead of 1, right?
You know what I mean? I can officially be called Khofi the Nerd, the influencer.
The problem with us is the only one of us that has any success on Instagram is Themba.
Yeah, it's because he's hot looking, man. Like all the ladies want him. I mean, look at me and you, Khidie.
Well, yeah, that's part of the problem.
By the way, Tebogo is my brother. He's an idiot.
But he likes Trevellos. Well, I think he does. Yeah, I could go for a donor 20mm. That would work. Yeah, it's the light skin. I know, Risha. Like we're not
yellow bones.
When have you seen any decent?
I think Trevello really makes amazing products. Aside from all the bullshit and the export permits and Trevello's been found in Syria, I think. But I think they really make amazing stuff. And I think they've been bought over by another company, African Defense Group or something like that. and I really hope they continue on that path to really continue to make really amazing stuff. For me, if you were to put, argument's sake, a Shaytac or a Remington, or a Trevello, I would probably go for a Trevello because I know that it's obviously good quality and it's South African made, and I just also want to support South African made products. Not because it's South African made, but I know it's a good product. You know what I mean? I mean, the CMS stuff is amazing. You know what I mean? So they just need to keep pushing that great stuff, and I'm looking forward to they are.
I saw the chassis they made. I saw the barrels and how they made the barrels. I saw the quality of steel they were using. I saw
the machining stuff is amazing.
The dyes, the torture testing that they were taking these things through before they even put them out on the market. I was like, wow. And people say we need to have German engineering. These guys could go engineer the whole of Germany.
Germans are food. This is South Africa.
The Trevally stuff is amazing, and here's the thing, right? I know that the high end rifles are like 80 to 100K. So what Tebogo says is correct. However, if they made an AR and they could market it in that premium to mid range between 30 and 35K, there would be enough people who would buy it.
I don't think it's just about them, Gideon. I don't think it's just about them. They're manufacturing in a country where labor costs have skyrocketed overnight.
Exactly.
All right.
I don't think there'll be enough CFR though for them to manufacture.
They are manufacturing in a space where they really have to make ends meet.
Yeah.
All right. And they're not willing to, at least from what I saw, they're not willing to drop the quality. So, like I said, if I have to, I don't need 2 nuts. I've got 3 kids. That's done. If I have to sell off my nuts, hey, bruh. If I'm saying it now. Even if they don't donate to me, I'm not busting a nut. I'm done. So, if Truvelo comes up with an AR, be it an AR-10, an AR-145, whatever, if it looks as good as the stuff that I saw on in their storage, CFR is gonna have to deal with me because I'm mortgaging my nuts and I'm exchanging it for whatever it is that they bring.
And for all the viewers that don't know, AR stands for African Rifle.
Yes,
I'm just putting it out there. Definitely. You know what I mean. Exactly. So you guys know, spread the word. It's African Rifle, AR-50.
Finally.
Finally.
Just to clear it up, because I know people been thinking it stands for Armor Light Rifle or some crap like that.
Nope.
It's African Rifle.
Who the hell adds light at the end of any gun. I mean, that's how you
butter company, Here's an AR rifle. Go butter your opponents up or something like that.
With some Armalite. Please pass me 2 slices of the brown toast and a plate of Armalite, please.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Pour me some Armalite there.
So on that bombshell, we've hit time. Armalite's a margarine, Trevelo is a rifle, and AR-15 is African rifle model 15. I like the way this is going.
That's it.
And next week, Arisha is joining us on Wednesday. Guys, thank you for being here. Love the cap. We'll organize Hofu worldwide cockroach one. Yes, Jason, we are totally profiling. And
it's not BR, Jason. It's AR.
Exactly.
Hey, black guns matter. Black guns matter.
Yeah. Is that what BMG stands for? Black matter guns. Oh no, sorry.
Oh, okay. I think no, we can't. We can't. We are getting into dad joke territory here, and that's just going to put like the little bit of street cred we have is going to flash.
Yeah, and I don't think Pete will like me going on about black guns matter when he makes them so colorful.
At MeWe, or what's that site called?
Which one?
The one
the boomer social media, MeWe, near donkey.
Yeah, and then we're gonna look like we are fucking generation what? It's MeWe. It's not MeWe, it's MeWe.
Yeah, it's MeWe. This is Africa. There's no MeWe for who? MeWe for what? It's MeWe.
Okay, let's quickly answer a real question from Musa Wenkosi. Your competency lasts as long as the relevant license. So if you've got a Section 13 self-defense license with that competency certificate, it'll expire with that license. If you've got a sport license or a hunting license, that's 10 years. It'll be valid for 10 years. But it's not difficult to renew. So you mustn't stress too much about the competency. But if you are in doubt,
think to clarify that, because hopefully you see what we deal with on the group. Some of these stupid security industry employers and our not so smart police officials tell people blanketly that your competency has or must be renewed after 5 years. But they don't tell them where the 5 years comes from with regards to the relevant license.
We need the new competency card.
Stupid. If I don't have a license, then my competency cannot expire, and we need to explain this. If you check on
the problem is also SAPS. I don't know if you guys saw the new directive that came out from SAPS throwing the DFs under the bus.
Yeah.
If your application is not captured, go speak to your DFO. Don't phone the call center type thing. And unfortunately, it's all these directives that are coming out all the time, and it's all the DFOs that don't necessarily sort of know what's going on and what's been updated and what's not been updated. And unfortunately, we as civilians are we are at the tail end of this whole thing.
If they're not arrogant enough to accept our help, like I did with my DFO, who's unfortunately gone to pension, I'm gonna have to do the same thing over again with the lady that's now there. I'm one of those people, and I know there's a lot of us. I'm willing to sit in an office, dedicate 1 day of my life every week or every month, however often she wants, and I can sit there and help her load the stuff and help her through, because I understand that the English command is a bit of an issue. I am willing to explain.
Work.
I'm willing to explain to her that this is how this works. Don't create, because they've created a lot of paperwork for themselves by forcing people to the 5 year thing is also a fuck up thing. Yes, you are right. It's the security employers. I don't do that to my gun.
Luckily, sorry guys, I'm going to brag. I've got an amazing DFO who understands a good portion of his crap. And more often than not, the guy goes above and beyond. And I'm sure you've also got quite a number of DFOs like that. And what you fast realize is the frustration also stems from the fact that DFOs generally don't like CFR management. Sometimes you sort of...
Is your DFO also a nerd?
Sorry?
Is your DFO also a nerd?
No, my DFO is a very cool dude, My DFO understands a whole lot of stuff. In actual fact, my DFO is me on a lot of things. I end up looking like the idiot.
Sounds more like a cool drink, DFO, but yeah, it's fine. We'll take whatever you say.
And he told me the other day that he's resigning. He's going into the private sector. I wanted to fucking no, like I'm ready to fucking doing a crowdfunding to fucking pay like match his private sector salary.
My DFO retired. She was amazing. But the lady who took over from her is pretty switched on as well. She had, I'm not going to call her an understudy, but a junior colleague who kind of just slotted in. So I'm considering myself lucky. But yeah, there are some shocking DFOs out there who really don't want that job, and unfortunately, they make the fact that they don't want that job the public's problem as well.
Yeah,
which is a major problem.
True.
Yeah.
But guys,
we're out of time.
We're out of time. It's been great hanging with all of you. I think it was a very successful run. We'll, if you want to get in on African gun enthusiasts, get a hold of these guys. You two. And if you can't get a hold of them,
it's also on Facebook as under African
gun enthusiasts.
Yeah. You should be
the nerd data bundles kind of ran off a bit there.
Yeah, so like African-ish.
If you can't find any of that and you can somehow miraculously get a hold of me, yes, I'll point you at them. But for now, thank you for tuning in. It's been great. See you next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Have a safe weekend. Shoot some guns. And the more people we convert to becoming legally armed, the stronger we become, the more we can say, fuck you, you will not take our guns. Go screw yourselves. And that's the whole point of why everything.
And remember, we still have to hit the streets soon, people. Just saying. And thank you for tuning in. And really, guys, I really appreciate all our viewers. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. And all the new guys that have tuned in today. We really, really appreciate. Call your friends, tell everyone. We're just trying to sort of have a conversation about guns, what's going on around with guns, and make a difference. And please spread the word. You know what I mean?
And gents, please get your sisters, mothers, girlfriends, wives, side chicks, and everyone to be part of the show, please. We need them here.
Exactly. Yeah. It's an open invitation. If you want to come on the show, because and this is kind of, we are very like female gun owner centric, because that is the voices that we need to have heard right now. I mean, a female gun owner's voice goes a lot further in this fight than any of ours. You've seen, like, none of us bite. So get a hold of me. There's the address. We'll schedule you in when it works for everyone, and this is Moy. Folks, have a wonderful evening.
Next week, we're having a female guest. So yeah, tune in, guys. She's hot.
Awesome. She's very well. I will see her next week. So yeah. Cheers, George. Take care of yourself.
Cheers, guys.
See you soon.
Cheers, boys.
Bye.
Sharp.